I am a full believer in everything happens for a reason and at the right time for your specific journey, and you're gonna see this video when it's time to start your natural hair journey. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Tiana and welcome to my T's Hair Diaries, where I'm sharing my journey of growing and loving my natural hair. It's about to be 1 year of fully embracing and loving my natural hair, and boy has it been a freaking journey. I've learned so much. I feel like I've been sharing that online here, but I feel like one message that is so important for just anybody to hear, if you're gonna watch one video of mine, I want it to be this one, because I feel like there's so many misconceptions and so many ideas based around Black women and our hair that we don't even understand, and this video is gonna be breaking down everything that truly made me realize, wow, like, why do I hate my natural hair? Why am I listening to all these other people? And truly taking back my power and truly starting to feel like myself, a part that I didn't even know was missing. I feel like I uncovered when I went on this natural hair journey. If you're watching this and you're feeling overwhelmed, scared, or unsure about your natural hair and wanting to start your natural hair journey, I am here to help you, and I'm here to let you know that that is so normal and such like a regular thing to be feeling when you're either starting this journey or thinking about starting this journey. I'm here for you. I feel you. I relate to you, and this is just the beginning, and it's normal to feel that way. But this is just the start, and we're gonna get you on that journey, on that process to getting you to the end result, fully embracing and loving your natural hair. And I'm going to be sharing with you these 6 pillars. These are things that I had to kind of knock down or kind of come to terms with in order to start loving my natural hair. So before I can start preaching to you, I feel like it's only right that I share my journey and my kind of relationship with my hair, where I started to where I am now. If you don't want to hear this, you can definitely skip to this timestamp right here, and that is totally okay. But I feel like it's important to kind of know the person that you're talking to and kind of know like where I started. My story is very alike to a lot of other Black women. So hi, my name is Tiana. I'm 22 years old, and for years, for most of my life actually, I did not love my natural hair. I didn't hate it. I didn't despise it. I just didn't simply like it, and I didn't understand it. I thought that if I didn't wear my natural hair and I embraced styles like wigs, knotless braids, faux locks, anything that just simply wasn't my natural hair, I was going to be liked more by society. I was going to have more friends. I was going to have boys that were interested in me, and I just overall was going to do better in life and be more respected and be more loved if I wore those other styles and didn't embrace my natural hair. But when you bring all those things together, I realized 3 things. 1, a lot of that had to do with acceptance and wanting to be loved. 2, it also had to do with just a lack of knowledge on what the hell to do with my hair. I had no idea where to even start, if I even wanted to start wearing my natural hair. And number 3 was I had been taught so many things, either subconsciously or consciously, about my natural hair that were simply not true. I would do any and anything to not have to wear my natural hair. And if I was wearing my natural hair, it was for max 24 to 48 hours. I just simply could not stand having my natural hair out because I was like, this is just a little pause, a little intermission. And that is so crazy that I was viewing my natural hair as like this intermission before the style that was going to make me feel beautiful. So that was kind of the routine that I would do. Protective style that wasn't actually protective. All these different crazy styles, okay? And that is the process that I would repeat time after time after time, okay? This was going on for years and years and years. And even before I had control over what styles I would do, my mom would always perm my hair, which is another thing that a lot of Black women also had to go through when they were younger, is just their parents perming their hair, because that was also like the beauty standard at the time, what everybody was doing. And I remember that was like a special thing for me to do. And I remember feeling so nice after having my hair literally fried off with chemicals and a flat iron. Like, how crazy is that? But that was kind of the process of my natural hair journey until about a year ago. I sat down with myself, and this is something actually that I'd been thinking about a few years before, that every time my natural hair is out, I feel so uncomfortable with myself and with my own body. And I realized that that was a problem. Like, that wasn't something that was not aware to me. Like, I feel like a lot of Black women know that they don't like their natural hair or don't feel comfortable with it, but they kind of shove it down, they push it away. They're like, it's fine, I'll just keep doing the wigs, I'll just keep doing these other styles, I'll deal with that eventually. And I kept pushing it under the rug, pushing it under the rug. And once I hit 21, I was like, okay, like, I gotta like really think about this, because as I get older, it's not gonna get easier. It's not like I'm just gonna wake up one day and love my natural hair and know how to style. I have to put in that effort. That was one thing. But the other thing was a style that damaged my hair. I did a kinky straight sew-in. I got really bad heat damage in the front of my hair, and that was like so eye-opening to me. I was like, damn, this is not it. I can't keep doing this to myself. I can't keep damaging something that naturally grows out of my head. I need to learn how to embrace it. I need to stop doing all these styles that are just breaking off my hair. Also, my hair wasn't growing. My hair was the same length it's been since I was like 12. Okay, there were just so many things that were going wrong. So all those 3 things combined made me kind of like wake up and be like, it's time to do it. It's time to hop on this journey. It's time to get the ball moving, because if I don't start now, I'm gonna be 60 years old, still rocking wigs and hating my natural hair. Flash forward now, it's been a year. I've been documenting my whole journey on social media, on TikTok and Instagram, and a little bit on here. And I officially love my natural hair. You could not catch me a year ago today rocking a twist out right now and feeling beautiful. Enough about me. I've shared my journey. I've kind of showed like where I started to where I am now. And now it's time to share my 6 pillars that you kind of need to knock down or kind of just come to terms with in order to begin your natural hair journey and in order to start loving and embracing your natural hair. First pillar that we're going to talk about today is called deconstructing your inherited beliefs. Let me tell you right now, that little voice in your head or the way that you think about your hair in a negative way often isn't your own voice and is actually history speaking through you. There are literally generations, years, and decades of systematic anti-blackness shaped beauty ideals that are still circulating today. Literally from slavery days to post-slavery days to the hot comb culture of the 90s and early 2000s to perming your hair to now it's a big discourse of what's modern professionalism in the workplace. Black hair has always been political and police. So when you really think about it, all of this history has come together to now today, modern time, to create this idea of what black hair is. And a lot of black women grow up and realize, okay, my natural hair isn't love. This isn't the beauty standard. But where did that come from? Where did all of that history kind of blend it together? Who created that idea? Where did it stem from? How did we even get here? So let's go back to pre-colonial Africa or just pre-slavery days, okay? Black hair was a way to communicate identity. It was beloved within African tribes. For them, it was never just hair, okay? It was a way to communicate status, marital status, money, spirituality, so many different things. But now when we kind of fast forward to the colonial era and slavery times, during enslavement, hair became a site of control and erasure. Traditional styling was often restricted and not allowed, and this is when you start to see the Eurocentric features start to become the ideal beauty type. This is truly where the idea that our hair needed to be tamed and not be super loud kind of was born and began and has now just been passed on through years and years and years, and we're still trying to unlearn today. Now, as we fast forward to the 1960s and 70s, this is when black hair, the afro, became this act of resistance and a political statement. Icons we know and love, like Angela Davis during this time, used her afro as an act of resistance and a political statement and reclaimed the space of pride and love for black hair. Now today in modern times, we have things like the Crown Act that allow black women to wear their natural hair in their workspaces at their 9-to-5s, not be discriminated against or fired for having their hair too untamed and loud and too distracting in the workplace, which honestly, it's just crazy when you really think about it. On top of the Crown Act, there are also countless of social media movements and Black-led advocacy that fight for protection and fight for legislations that can be created to protect us against discrimination. Our generation isn't just redefining beauty, it's reclaiming what was always ours to begin with. So in order for us to unlearn what we've always been told, we still have to acknowledge and accept the history that comes with our hair from our ancestors that have been passed down to us and what it truly began as a form of pride, a form of identity, and what we stand for. We also have to remember those beauty standards were not created for us and was used against us to make us not love something that naturally grows out of our head. So once we can kind of break that down and once you can kind of accept that, I also recommend doing some journal prompts about this as well. Also go ahead and do your own research. Learn what you need to learn about the history of our natural hair on top of kind of what I've kind of given you in kind of just a big summary. And I feel like once you really break it down and understand these things, it'll help make loving your natural hair so much easier because you'll realize we were never meant to hate our natural hair. You'll realize, wow, like why am I really following this beauty standard? Let me create my own beauty standard. Let me be the beauty standard. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Compare yourself to you, where you're at and where you're going to be in the future and how you're growing at your own pace and on your own journey. Now we're moving on to our second pillar, and this pillar is so important because I truly think that this is what got me to start loving my natural hair more and more, and that would be for our second pillar, exposure therapy through practice. I'm going to be brutally honest here, okay? Honey, you cannot love what you are constantly hiding from. This truly was my biggest issue and a really big part of what held me back from wearing my natural hair, and that was the actual wearing it part, okay? It was just such a vulnerable thing for me to do, and I feel like that's such a big reason why a lot of black women are so scared to wear their natural hair. It's because taking that big jump, that big step, actually wearing your natural hair, and that is why exposure therapy is so important. Probably wondering, Tiana, what is exposure therapy? And exposure therapy is actually really simple and kind of already what it sounds like. Exposure therapy is doing the thing you're scared of so much, so consistently, to the point that you are no longer scared of it. Now I know you're like, Tiana, okay, so pretty much you're just saying I need to wear my natural hair out, but in like a more fancier term. Yes, but also it's much deeper than that. As I said, I was scared, I was vulnerable, I didn't want to do it, but you have to take baby steps, okay? And when you also have like a phrase for it, exposure therapy, that you can kind of tell yourself when you're getting ready in the morning, heading to work, heading to see friends, going out in your natural hair, when you say like, okay, I'm I'm doing exposure therapy today. You take those deep breaths, you do those affirmations, you do that style. It kind of helps you kind of have this like thing that you're working towards, and you know that you're actively implementing something like exposure therapy, a tactic psychologically that you know is going to help you get to the finishing line of being able to wear your natural hair out and not be scared to do it anymore. So when it comes to exposure therapy, we are not jumping from 0 to 100, okay? We are taking baby steps. First step is rocking your natural hair in a style that you know that you can do, in a style that you know that you feel comfortable in. When I first started, I was just doing my high puffs, a shoelace, some gel, some water, slick it back with the curls on the top. That was my comfort space when it came to wearing my natural hair. That was a style that I rocked for about a week. After that, during that week while I was rocking that style, I was doing my research, okay? Trying to see what style I could do next for the upcoming week that seemed easy enough, could work for my natural hair, and something that I could feel beautiful in. And that is what led me to my second style for my exposure therapy, and that was doing a braid out. When I look back, especially because I was recording this whole process, my braid outs were definitely not eating. I did think they were eating back then, but they definitely were not eating now that I know more what I'm doing. And then I got better and I got better, and now it's a year and I feel like I've really locked down a good braid out routine. Start trying new styles, start playing around with new products, new techniques, and eventually you'll kind of start building this portfolio, this of all these hairstyles that you can kind of just pull out of your pocket and do, and you know you're gonna rock, and you know we're gonna look good. But the more you force yourself to show up every day, you do those affirmations, you tell yourself that you're beautiful, even when you don't even believe it, okay? You keep telling yourself that you look good. One day you're gonna wake up, you're gonna get ready, you're gonna do your hair, and you won't even need to do the affirmations because you already believe it on the inside, already feel beautiful because the exposure therapy is working. I would also recommend doing these baby steps, these like styles that you're like a little bit nervous for, especially when you're in like phase one of like that vulnerability scared phase of exposure therapy, doing it on like low stake days or like on weekends. Don't do it on a day where you have like a presentation at work or you have to like perform at school or do something that is like really important where you want to feel your best. Only you will know when those days are, which is like specific to your lifestyle, your career, and what you do on a day-to-day basis. Kind of wear a style where like if you don't feel good, it's not that important. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not going to be the end of the world. Now we're moving on to pillar number 3, and this is all about curating your environment. The saying is true, okay? You are who you surround yourself with. And in the day and age that we are in right now, where it's not simply just about physically who you are around, now we're in a day where technology is truly taking over and is like everything that everybody is on. I'm on it all the time. It's also about who you surround yourself with social media wise, okay? What creators are you following? Who are you constantly seeing on your For You page, on your Instagram feed? What is your eyes constantly looking at? Because the more that your brain sees things constantly, consistently, the more it perpetuates these ideas in your head and you don't even realize it. I was shook when I kind of like took this in and I did like a look through my social media accounts, especially Instagram, and I just looked at the creators I was following and I was like, damn, like I don't really follow many girls that have my hair type. Like I would follow a few curly hair creators. So I would highly recommend doing a social media cleanse. Go through your following. Are you even following curly hair creators? I wasn't. I had to go out of my way to search up 4-type hair, 4C hair creators, okay, and see what pops up. Watch a few videos. If I found that like I connected with them, they have the same hair type as me, and they created like good educational content that I could learn from and that I can kind of like recreate with my own hair, I would follow them. And what's also very important is they don't just have the same hair type as you, they actually wear their hair out and was like a norm to them. It wasn't something that was like new. It was like, yeah, I wear my natural hair out and what? Like you want women that you watch their stories and they just have their fro out because they're just going to the store or they're going to work. Like it's something that is so normalized to them, because if it's normalized to them and you start seeing it every day, you keep watching their stories or you just casually see them on your feed while you're scrolling, it'll become normal to you. Your brain will see that. It'll take it and be like, oh, she's beautiful. I see that like every day when I scroll on my feed. I see her fro. I see her curls. She's beautiful. I'm beautiful. My curls are beautiful. Why don't I wear my natural hair? Why don't I wear my fro today? Your brain will start to kind of like tell you things that you don't even realize, and you'll start to kind of see natural hair, your curl type, as the norm and as the actual beauty standard, because it is the beauty standard, okay? And now we're moving on to pillar number 4, and that is education, not comparison. The amount of times I'll post content or I'll see a tutorial on social media of somebody with like 3C hair, okay? And I'll click on the comment section and I'll see thousands, so many women with like 4-type hair or just a hair type that is not the original creator's hair type in the comments being like, I wish. My hair could never. Can you talk to my hair? She's not performing like that. She's not doing that. I just feel like that is like such the wrong way to go about it. There are so many foundational hairstyles that a lot of us Black women like to do. Wash and goes, twist outs, bantu knots, braid outs, so many styles that I love, okay? And depending on your hair type, your curl type, your porosity, every style is going to look different on every different hair type. And I think that if you were to watch a 3A curly girl's video of her doing a wash and go and you have like say 4B curls, it's easy to kind of look look at that and be like, oh, my curls will not look like that. And yes, it is true. Your curls will not look exactly like hers, but it doesn't mean that you cannot do it. Your hair isn't difficult. Your curls aren't too coily or too tight. You've just been taught the wrong way, or not taught at all, how to actually do your hair and how to actually style it so that you can make your curls pop in the way that it was always meant to be. So with that being said, understand your framework, learn the things that you need to learn. Here are some things that I feel like you need to go research and figure out when it comes to your hair type and kind of do a little trial and error with as you start to embrace your hair. Number 1, your hair porosity. Do you have low porosity or high porosity? Number 3, you're going to want to learn your shrinkage patterns. Does your hair shrink up a lot? Does it not shrink up that much? What's going on there? Learn about your hair, embrace your hair, because the more that you learn about it, the more easier it'll be to manage it and to style it. Number 5, we are almost at the finish line, and this one is true and honest and real, and that is to expect setbacks while you are on this journey. This is something that I really had to come to terms with, especially because I'm such a perfectionist and I want to look good all the time. I want to be like perfect and talented at something the moment I do it, and that is simply not going to be the case. If that is the case for you, you are lucky, amazing for you. But for most of us, when you start trying these new styles and start embracing your natural hair, it is going to be so difficult at first to be okay with the end result. I would be so upset because I would do this twist out, and then the next morning I'd be getting ready for school and I'm like, okay, time to take out my twist out. I'm following all these steps, and I take out my twist out and it would not look the same as the creator that I followed to a T to her tutorial. And I would be so upset. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Why do I suck at this? I'm doing everything right, okay? And it's simply just that you need to practice. Practice is key. Consistency is key. Constantly showing up every day, doing the exposure therapy, doing these styles over and over again until you get better at it is what's going to get you to getting those styles to look exactly the way you want it to. Every bad hair day is a part of the process of you getting one step closer to embracing your natural hair and perfecting those styles. And lastly, we're on to pillar number 6. And it's all about reclaiming your identity through your hair. The more I started wearing out my natural hair, the more I would do these froze, these twist outs, these wash and goes, I would start to see my curls come to life. I would start to see my hair flourish and grow and become more full and more thicker. I truly start to see myself in a different light, and I feel like I truly unlocked a new version of myself or a new layer of myself that I didn't even know was like missing at the beginning. Everything about me was just clicking, and it's a feeling I can't even describe. I feel like you won't understand what I'm saying until you go on that journey yourself starting today and you get to that point, and then you'll come back and you'll be like, Tiana, like, I get what you mean. I do. And I truly feel like I'm more confident in myself, and I also just feel so much more beautiful with my natural hair. There is just so much power in being fully and unapologetically yourself in your natural state, in your natural hair, rocking your natural fro. So those are all of my 6 pillars that I kind of had to knock down or kind of come to terms with when it came to starting my natural hair journey. Really hope that this is resonating with some of you, and this is kind of like opening your eyes to wanting to start your natural hair journey, or if you clicked on this video already kind of wanting to start, but you kind of needed this to kind of like give it a little push. I hope that I gave you that push, okay? Because this journey has been truly life-changing for me, and like it is now my goal to encourage other Black women to go on this journey and to start loving their natural hair, or to just learn how to style their natural hair. And I really hope that this was helpful in some way, some shape, some form. Ask me any questions you want in the comments below. I'm gonna try and answer all of them and give you guys all the support and love that I possibly can. We are in this together, okay? Let me know if there's also any hair videos, any styles or things you guys want me to post about. I post about a lot of my hair content on TikTok and Instagram already, so if you want, you can go check those out. I have some tutorials posted if you want to like kickstart your natural journey with a fun little twist out tutorial or a wash and go tutorial. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye.